was about cupping. And what confused him is a hadith where the Prophet ﷺ tells us that the earning of a person doing cupping is khabith. And there is a hadith where one of the companions, may Allah be pleased with them all, bought a slave who was a professional cupper, and he took his instruments that he does the cupping with and he broke them. And he narrated this hadith that the dowry or the money that a prostitute takes is khabith, and the money that a soothsayer takes is khabith, and also the money of a person who does cupping. So the scholars were confused a bit because the Prophet himself performed cupping, and he gave the man who made cupping for him a dinar. And he told us that the roots of curing and treatment and healing in Islam depend on three, and that is a drink of honey and a slice or a slash of a cupper, a person who does cupping, and cauterization or al-kay, burning with a hot piece of metal in designated or certain places of the body. Now, the Prophet ﷺ said this, and yet he told us that the earning of a cupper is khabith. Now, the word khabith is not always muharram. It's not always forbidden. So with the soothsayer, with the prostitute, it is definitely forbidden. And it is not good. It's evil. But when it comes to a person who does cupping, we have to understand it that it is not good. Not that it is not permissible, it is not good. It's like eating garlics and onions. It has lots of benefits. Yet the Prophet described them ﷺ by being khabithatan. They're khabith in the sense that their smell are repelling and they annoy people. So you're not permitted when you eat garlic or onions to go and attend prayer in the masjid, because you would annoy others, you would harm them. So the word khabith does not always mean that it is forbidden. And so it is the same with this hadith. Then why did the companion break these tools? Simply because at the time of the Prophet ﷺ, cupping was done personally, in the sense that there were no special tools. All what he has to have is a blade. He cuts or slashes the back of the neck or the shoulders, and then he gets either a glass, an empty glass, and he lights something, so he vacuums it from air and he puts it inside, and it sucks the rotten blood out, which is black and rotten and very heavy, not as normal blood that people get when they get their wounds. Or, and this is what was usually done, he puts sort of a tube and he sucks the blood out with his mouth, and there is a possibility that some would come into his mouth. So this is not something that people look up to. And Islam looks up at jobs that preserve the dignity of a person. And at the time, and until now, if someone goes and sucks blood from a person, and the rotten blood, and may come into his mouth, this is something that's disgusting, though it has good medical benefits to it. And the awkward thing is that some Muslim doctors even fight this, though the Prophet did it and he encouraged us to do it, and so many studies encourage doing this. Yet some so-called Muslim doctors in the lands of Islam still fight it and oppose it, and they close all clinics that have this beautiful sunnah being practiced. Yes, you can govern it, you can put regulations to it, but you don't have the right to stop such a treatment. Therefore, I hope this answers your question. Nowadays, is the earning of a cupper still looked down at? Well, I don't think so, because the majority of those who do cupping nowadays are professional doctors. So everything is sterilized, everything is clean and up to date, and Allah knows best.